And so the invitation is just to rest, arriving here in this present moment experience. You might arrive by just noticing how your body feels right now in this seated posture. And perhaps noticing the weight of the body against the cushion or chair. You might notice how the gravity feels against the body, the pull against the cushion or chair. And also noticing perhaps the feet against the carpet or floor. So just taking into awareness the contact points of the body. And so now the invitation is to bring awareness to the breathing process itself. And here, taking a nice, long, nourishing, deep breath, or perhaps two. And perhaps taking the out breath to be slightly longer than the in breath. That slower, elongated out breath can often bring a sense of calm, of stillness to the heart, to the body, to the mind. And then the next breath, just inviting the breath to return to its uncontrolled, relaxed breathing pattern, just breathing normally, naturally. And while we're here, feeling into the breath, you might notice the rising and falling of the abdomen as you inhale and exhale. Noticing if there's any tension or stress that's held in and around the abdomen. It's quite common for the human body to want to contain tension or stress there. And if you notice anything, any tension or stress in the abdomen, just allow that to soften, relax, and rest. You might also notice the rib cage expanding and contracting with each breath. The rising and falling of the shoulders as you inhale and exhale. You might also notice the back moving out as you breathe in as you breathe out. And perhaps noticing the temperature changing from cooler to warmer at the nose and the back of the throat on the inhalation to exhalation. Resting, breathing. And while resting here in this present moment experience of the breath, the invitation is to bring awareness now to the feet. And here again, perhaps noticing the feet against the floor or carpet. You might also notice perhaps socks against the skin of the feet, or maybe just the air resting against the feet. And inviting the muscles in the feet to relax and grow soft. You might also notice sensations of clothing against the legs, inviting the muscles in the legs to unwind and rest. And perhaps noticing the weight of the body against the chair or cushion, inviting the muscles underneath those sensations to relax and unwind. You might also notice sensations of clothing against the back, inviting the muscles in the back to rest. You might notice the hands resting against the body or touching each other, the arms resting against the body, inviting the hands and arms to unwind and grow soft. And you might also notice sensations of clothing against the shoulders, inviting the muscles in the shoulders to relax and rest. There might be sensations arising throughout the back of the neck and the sides of the neck, inviting the muscles in the neck to rest and to unwind. And perhaps noticing sensations arising throughout the cheeks of the face, letting any tension or stress that might be held in the face go. And perhaps noticing sensations arising from the top of the head, the very crown of the head. Resting, breathing, feeling. And while resting here in this present moment experience of breath and body, the invitation is now to notice any sounds which might be available. You don't need to focus on any one sound in particular, but just allow your awareness to include any sounds which might be arising in this present moment. Listening to the entire field of sound and silence. Resting, breathing, feeling, listening. And while resting here in this present moment experience of sound and silence, body and breath, we'll begin offering ourselves these very precious phrases of joy, as if we were bringing ourselves the most precious, rare gift. And with each phrase, we'll briefly visualize or imagine what our life might look and feel like if each phrase was completely reflective of our own life circumstance. May I enjoy the activities of life itself. May I enjoy things just as they are. I experience the world taking joy in all that I do. May I know what to do, whatever arises. Resting, breathing, feeling. And so as we move into the next stage of this meditation on boundless joy, the invitation is now to bring into awareness 3 people, either through a visualization or just perhaps saying these people's names a few times, getting a feel for their presence. And this is a loved one, a family member, a good friend, a challenging person, and a neutral person, somebody for whom there's no feelings of attraction or aversion towards. And experiencing these people as being in your presence, in a comfortable setting, perhaps seated around a dining table or a campfire. Just allowing these 3 people to really come into focus. And in the next few breaths, we'll begin offering ourselves and this group of 3 people these very precious phrases of joy, which is really just a vehicle for our boundless joy, our method of rejoicing in the successes, the windfalls, the pleasures, the laughter of ourself and these other 3 people, the group of 4. And with each phrase, we'll spend about a minute or so visualizing or imagining what our lives would look and feel like if each phrase was completely reflective of all 4 of our lives' circumstance. May we enjoy the activities of life itself. enjoy things just as they are. May we experience the world taking joy in all that we do. May we know what to do, whatever arises. Resting, feeling, rejoicing, celebrating. And if you notice any resistance to one or more of the phrases, just notice that. That's quite normal. Holding the resistance in self-compassion awareness. And we'll continue offering these very precious gifts of joy to this group of 4. Always including ourselves. May we enjoy the activities of life itself. May we enjoy things just as they are. May we experience the world taking joy in all that we do. May we know what to do, whatever arises. Resting, feeling, rejoicing, celebrating, appreciating. And so, as we begin to move into the next stage of this practice on boundless joy, the invitation is to allow any visualizations which may have arisen to move into the background of awareness. And at the same time, holding any feelings or experiences of joy which might be present in the foreground of our awareness. And so here the invitation is to really go into the felt sense, the physical experience of joy, whatever's there for you. Might be just very small, and that's fine. A small sliver of joy could be present. Or it might be quite large. The intensity of the feeling of joy is irrelevant. Just go into what's there for you. This might feel like a warmth around the heart or the abdomen, or a vibration and energy. Or it might be over the whole body, or perhaps just in the jaw or the shoulders. And as you locate and feel into the felt sense of this experience of joy, allow yourself to go into it, much in the same way you might go into a warm tub of water, or a swimming pool, or the ocean. Allowing yourself to submerge yourself into the experience of joy. And as you enter into the joy, you might acknowledge that this is with the intention of allowing the joy to become a part of your nervous system. You may wish to visualize this joy being poured into your head like warm golden syrup. And visualizing this golden syrup making its way down your skull and into the brain, drenching the entire brain with this warm golden syrup of joy. And allowing it to ooze down into the top vertebrae where the spine meets the skull, and coating the vertebrae with this warm syrup of joy, this goodness, this warmth. And allowing it to slowly make its way down the spine to the middle of the back, drenching all of the vertebrae on the way down with this warm, honey-like golden syrup of joy, to the lower back. And as this honey-like syrup, this warmth, this golden joy reaches the last vertebrae in the lower back, allowing this joy to flow out from the backbone through the abdomen, drenching the organs, the intestines, and the abdomen, and flowing up through the rib cage, drenching all of the ribs to the marrow of the bones with this honey-like golden syrup, this warmth of joy. Coating the heart, drenching the heart and the lungs with this warmth, this goodness, this feeling of rejoicement. Flowing down the arms, drenching the marrow of the bones, the muscles and tendons, the veins and the arteries. Flowing through the elbows and down into the forearms, drenching all of the tiny bones in the wrists, and into the hands, the palms of the hands and the back of the hands. And inviting this radiant warmth of joy to flow out through the thumbs and the fingers, shimmering out to the surface of the skin in all directions. And at the same time, allowing this radiant warmth, this energy of rejoicing, of celebrating joy, appreciation, flowing down the legs, drenching the marrow of the bones of the upper legs, the muscles and tendons, the veins and the arteries, flowing through the knees and down into the lower legs, the calves and the shins, drenching all of the little bones in the ankles, the tendons and muscles, the veins and the arteries through the feet, flowing out through the toes, this warmth, this golden syrup, this joy, this appreciation and gratitude, this celebratory warmth shimmering out from the surface of the skin, all over the entire body, from the top of the head to the bottoms of the feet. And just allowing this warmth, this honey-like joy to just shimmer there at the surface of the skin in all directions, right at the top of the skin there, just shimmering out. This might feel like a vibration or an energy, a warmth, a light. And whatever that feels like for you, there's no wrong or right about that feeling, just whatever you're feeling right now. And so in the next breath or two, we'll begin to amplify this experience of joy, this full body experience of joy. So here, turning up the volume as if we were turning up the volume on our favorite song on the radio. So turning up that dial perhaps to about a 2 or a 3, so that this warmth, this radiance, this energy of joy shimmers out from our heart, from the abdomen, and from the surface of the skin all over the body, about 3 feet from the body in all directions. So the idea is to feel the intensity getting just a little bit warmer, a little bit louder, maybe a little bit more to celebrate. And in the next breath, turning up the volume just one or two notches louder so that this warmth, this energy, this appreciation, this joy radiates out from the heart, from the abdomen, from the entire body, about 6 feet from the body in all directions. And so in the next breath or two, bringing back the other 3 participants in this celebration, allowing them to sit next to us or around us, perhaps again around that dining table or the campfire, and amplifying the experience just a little bit louder as these 3 other people rejoin the circle, allowing them to bathe in our radiance, our energy, our joy, our light, flowing out from the abdomen, from the heart, and from the surface of the skin, about 12 feet in all directions, completely submerging the loved one, the challenging person, and the neutral person in our abundance of celebratory joy, our appreciation, our gratitude. You might even visualizing them receiving benefit, receiving them celebrating the efforts of our practice. And in the next breath, turning up the dial on our favorite song as loud as possible, allowing this radiance, this warmth, this energy of joy to shimmer out from our heart, from our abdomen, and from the surface of the skin in all directions to fill the entire room that we're seated in, completely covering, drenching the loved one, the challenging person, the neutral person, and ourself as well. All 4 bathing in the light, the radiance, the joy, the warmth. And so the invitation is to just stay in this overflowing experience of radiant joy for about 3 to 5 breaths. And knowing that the longer we stay with this experience of joy, the more our neurons begin to fire and wire together towards the light of joy. And so in the next breath or two, we'll begin to shift away from this meditation and back into a conversational space. I'll cue that by ringing the bell 3 times. Sometimes the bell itself can serve as an extra form of amplification for this radiant warmth of joy. So the invitation is to allow the bell to ripple through that energy, that warmth, perhaps amplifying further the experience of joy.